Hello. Good morning. Happy Monday. How's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome. I am Tanya with Ribbon Branch Crafts, and I'm here with you today with the Bright and Early Crafters from Debbie's Bright Ideas. And today's theme we were given the Stars and Stripes are oh so bright. So if you want to go visit the Bright and Early Crafters page, you'll be able to see everybody that's already shared their creations and also see everybody that's coming. Um, so we had Glitzy Creations by Ginger, Das Craft Boutique. You just saw Colossal Creations, and now you're here with me. Then we'll have an hour break, and at 11 a.m. Central, it starts again with I'm Snow Crafty, um, Heavens to Betsy Cakery, then Debbie's Bright Ideas, Misty's Creations, CPC Crafts, and then we close out with That's So Cute by Dee. So for today's theme, I was thinking of something cute and patriotic, and I came up with today we're going to do a cute little patriotic gnome. And if you're commenting, I can't see any comments just yet, so if you want to comment and let me know, I apologize. I hope they're working. But this is what we're going to make today. So the first thing that we're going to do is you need 2 cones. And these are about 4 inches tall. And you can get these pretty much anywhere. And we are just going to start with the dress. So I got like this robin egg blue color. I don't know. I hope my comments are working. I can't see any comments yet, so I apologize. If you're writing, I will get back to you. Okay, I see you. Hello, Colossal Creations. Hi, Jenny. That was such a cute ruffle that you did. That was so cute. Okay, so we're just going to roll this out. Hey, Mom and Dad. A little bit more here. We're just going to roll it out and kind of make it a little bit of a circular shape. So okay, so I got this big circle cutter. You can get these pretty much anywhere too. I think I got mine on Amazon, but we're just gonna cut. This is a 6-inch cutter. We're gonna just cut and then get that excess off of there. And then what you're gonna do is, hey, Sugar Snob Designs, thank you for coming. We're just going to roll this out, see how it's kind of elongated it a little bit. We're going to go around and do that in all 4 corners. Okay. And this does not have to be perfect. This is going to be the dress, so you want it to look, we're trying to make it look a little flowy. Hey, beautiful Debbie. And we're also just going to try to, I want her dress to kind of go a little bit up to her feet. So I think that's good. So now what we're going to do is you're going to get you another little piece of clay of the same color. And you're just going to roll it in a little ball and kind of flatten it out. This don't have to be perfect either, because this is just, we're just going to cover up the bottom with this piece. And a little bit of tacky glue. Hey, How are you, Christine? Yes, dance partner. You guys, we were jamming the other day. Let me tell you what, her neighbors had some pretty darn good music going on and quite the party happening, and her and her husband are so funny. That was fun. Thank you so much. I got this on Amazon. Isn't that funny? I got my son one that it looks like a mustard bottle, and it says mustard seed of faith or something like that. Okay, so this is all you're going to do with that circle. We're just covering up the bottom because this is going to be how it sits. So then you're going to take the circle that we just rolled out. Our unique touch. Hey, how are you, friend? Thank you very much. I'm so glad you guys are coming. And you're just going to cut, like, see that? Just cut right in the middle. And you're going to take some more tacky glue around the top. You don't necessarily need it at the bottom because we're going to flow her dress out anyway. And then we're going to set this off to the side for just a second. You're going to get a little bit more of the same color. We are making this today. We're making, for the, Stars and Stripes are oh so bright. We're going to do a patriotic gnome. And I think after, I'm going to show you guys how to do the girl here that I did. And then I think after, at some point today, I'm going to try to make 2 boys, which will be essentially the same thing I'm showing you today. Just with like maybe shorter hair or something. I'm not quite sure how I want to put a beard on them or something. But I'll post pictures of that later today. So I just took a big ball and rolled it, and then you cut it in half. And that's the easiest way to get 2 even sections. And we're going to go in with our favorite shape, that cone shape. And you're just going to go in at an angle with your hand like this. And just gently roll. And then I flatten, then roll, and flatten, then roll. And you want it about, I'd say, about 3 inches should be good. Hi, Nicholas. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Yes, I was excited. I see you guys, I am on YouTube all the time watching craft videos and stuff. And there are these people. There's this one guy, I can't remember his name, but he does gnomes, not with the clay, but he makes them with like the faux fur and stuff. Like, oh man, they look so cool. That was part of what inspired me to do this. So you just line them up and get them about the same size, and you want to press down on one side. Okay, so now you're going to take this cone, and you're just going to set them about in the middle on the sides of the cone, okay? And we're just going to gently press the back and then blend it gently with your hands, okay? So then you're going to end up with something should look like this. Okay, now we got our cute little feeties. Hello, Desk Craft Boutique. I loved your firecracker. That was super cute. Thank you so much. Okay, so now, after we do that part, we're going to take this. This is her dress. And we're just going to put her dress over this little hole here. That's why we cut the hole. And you're just going to drape it. And just make it look kind of like a dress. And it'll kind of pretty much do the work for you. This really is, if you're just getting into clay and stuff, a dress is a great way to do a character because you really don't have to know a whole lot yet to do something like this. And then we're just going to smooth our hole up towards the top. Okay. And that tacky glue is going to grab on. And you just smooth. Now remember, if you're new to this stuff, just remember if you have wrinkles, and unless it's like a really big dent, it's not going to be a big deal, because I had a lot of little dents in this other than the ones I purposely did. and see how smooth it came out. So this is, it's not a big deal, okay? So that's what we're working with. Cutie, cutie, okay? Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay, so now the next step that we're going to do, let me look at this, is we are going to put the nose on, okay? So I got some of my cream here. And you know gnomes, you want to make sure you have a good size amount of clay because you want a fairly good size nose, because since that's the only feature that you see on most gnomes other than the feet or the shoes. So I have about a 2-inch ball of any color, like just a skin color clay. And I guess you don't even have to do that if you don't want to. So you're just going to roll it in the ball, and then I slightly press it on the sides so you get a little bit of an oval shape like that. And then we are going to get, let's see. Now I like to anchor everything because when I first started doing this, I made so many mistakes, and it was always because I did not anchor it well, and my stuff would start sagging while it was drying. Okay. So I just put a few little pieces of toothpick is what I used, and you're going to put it about somewhere in the top like that, okay? And you don't need tacky glue because our stuff is still wet, and we're just going to gently press the nose on. Okay, so then that's what we got so far. Now we are going to go in with the arms. Did everybody have a good weekend? We didn't do a whole lot. Just nice, relaxing. Y'all, I hate getting out of the house as it is. So anytime we're just hanging out at home is like a dream. We had us some yummy Alfredo last night. It was one of my favorite meals. It was so good. We made like 3 pounds of noodles. So we'll have leftovers. Hey, Ramona. Okay, so I just got some more clay, and we're just rolling a big ball again, and then I cut it in half so you have your 2 even pieces again. We're going in with the cone shape again, okay? And this is going to be her arms. And you want to do them about the same as we did the legs, about 3 to 4 inches. And you're going to flatten the end, just like this. Okay, there's one. Get this one. So then we got these 2 pieces again. And what you're going to do is you're going to go down just below, if you can see that, about right here with the arms, okay? And you're just going to stick them right on. And then you're going to wrap it around on the back and kind of curve her hands in. And then you're just going to blend it in the back. And this kind of clay is, for the most part, pretty forgiving. So, like I said, if you get any little things, just don't worry about it, because 9 times out of 10 when it dries, it's going to look a lot nicer. Okay, we got the little hands. Yes, my name is Tanya, Nicholas. Okay, so got that. Now the next step that we're going to do is we're going to put some little buttons on her front of her dress. I'm going to get some red, and you can use whatever clay. This is, again, another very versatile project. You can do it, I mean, you guys know gnomes. You can do bees and watermelon, Christmas. I mean, they have gnomes literally of all seasons. So we're just going to make 3 little bitty circles, and you can do the buttons however big you want. Just try to make sure that they're roughly the same size so it looks nice and uniform. Okay, and then we're just going to take it. Oh yes, I would love to see you make one. I loved that hat, Debbie, that you did. That was so cool. I'm just going to put them right down the front and gently press, because you don't want your dress to get smushed in. You want your dress to keep that flowy look. Okay, so we put the buttons on. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Nicholas. Okay, so I think we're done with that for just a sec. Now we're going to go in and do her hands. Actually, no, we're going to do her hair. And I think what I'm going to do actually is, I think we're going to make her, I'm going to have a brown haired set and a blonde haired set, I think. And I will show you how I do her hair. Okay, so get you some yellow clay. And we're just going to make our ball. Thank you. And so you're going to start rolling it in a snake. A little bit of a thin snake. And you guys, if you're new to this, again, this is another thing that would be great practice. Your snakes, your cones, your balls, because you're going to use those shapes a lot in this kind of crafting. And once you get it down, it is so fun. So I have a long piece. It's about a 1/4 inch. So then what we're going to do, okay, is we're going to just fold it in on itself. So this is what we got. Okay. Then what we're going to do is kind of what you just saw with Jenny. We're just going to roll it. Roll it on itself until you get about what you're looking for. And you're going to end up with this. Okay. Cultivating Keepsakes. Hello. Thank you, Ramona. So now what we're going to do is, we're going to take her hair, and this part's going to be covered up. So this is where we're doing all our building. And we're going to start on the top right here. And you're just going to drape it pretty much however you want, whatever you think looks cute for a gnome to have. And I think I'm going to do her hair like that. And then just snip the excess, or if you want her to have that extra long Rapunzel type hair, that's totally cool too. And then just gently press. And then what I like to do for the bottom right there is clip it just a little bit. And it looks like, you know, the bottom of how a braid would look. And then the next thing you're going to do to juice it up just a little bit more is we're going to take, you can use this tool this, even a butter knife if you don't have these tools yet. And you're just going to go in and put little indentions in and just try to follow, if you can imagine in your head like it's a braid, just the flow, what you think the hair would look like. Can you see that? How it's adding all that extra dimension to it. And just kind of go at an angle because it goes with, you know, the look of the braid. Just however many you want. You can do a lot or a few or none. So that's what we got so far. So then we're going to do it again on the other side. Thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate that. I'm so glad you guys were able to make it today. How's the weather where you guys are? Where's everybody from? Debbie, I know you're in Texas, right? And my parents, they live in Iowa. It's kind of rainy, gloomy, icky day. It rained all weekend, and my husband, he had a couple yards he had to go cut, and he said it was nice and it was okay, but boy, he said it was still wet. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it didn't rain all day. Okay, so we're doing the same thing we did with the first one, and you're just going to fold it in on itself. Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to roll it to your liking. And I try to press it on the bottom because sometimes I have a hard time with it trying to unravel on me. So that tends to help. If that's doing that for you, that might help you too. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. You're going to come across the back of the nose. And you're just going to drape her hair however you want. Okay. And then you go back in with whatever your tool. Like I said, a butter knife will work just fine. Oops, I almost forgot this part. Do your little snippies. Okay. And then we're just going to go in. There we go. We have her hair is done. Okay, so now I think we're done with the yellow. Let's put that away. Oh, yeah, it's probably chilly. Oh, you're in Canada? Are you in Canada? I was wondering when you said you lived in a different country. I was wondering. Thank you, Debbie. 110? Oh, my word. No, thank you. It does get pretty hot here in Tennessee, but I think you got us beat, Debbie. Okay, so this is what we're working with. The next thing we're going to do is the hat. And this is where your second comb comes in, okay? So we're going to start kind of like we did in the beginning. Get you your color clay that you're wanting to use and just pick 2 or 3 colors that complement each other, like the red, white, and blue, or pink, blue, and white, or just whatever. And get you a little bowl of clay. Yay, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying being here. I'm so happy to be with you guys and do this. Okay, so we got a big old blob, right? You want to just circle it out just a little bit. And how you do that is you just roll one side and go the other way. And then I flip it and roll it and flip it and roll it. because that helps me with my bubbles tremendously. And you're not going to get all the bubbles out sometimes, but this gets pretty much majority. And we're just going to try to roll a big old circle. So I guess if you don't have that cutting tool, I'm looking at this, and when you do her dress, if you do it this way, you can essentially get the same thing that we already did with the dress. Okay, so this is what we got. Very important. Okay, so you're going to take your tacky glue and you're going to put it around like we did the first time. Okay. Now this is the important part. You're not going to go to the lip. Okay, you want to leave, can you see that? You want to leave some access here when we roll it. And when we're rolling it, you want to make sure none of that touches, and I will show you. So we're going to start at one side. Okay. And bring your clay up around and just kind of slide it into itself. See what that's doing there? You're going to go all the way around. And this is what you're going to have. Make sure you keep that open. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull it out. Okay? We're going to fold it out. You see? That's the start of the base of the hat. Then what you're going to do is just set it flat. And now that gives us where we can smooth the back. And then don't cut this excess off, because I'll show you what we're going to do. What we're going to do is you're going to take this pretty side, okay, and we're going to fold it on itself to kind of clean up that back. And we're just going to form it. Like I said, don't worry about the wrinkles. It's a gnome hat, so you're allowed to have some wrinkles. And also, a lot of times it will level itself out as long as it's not too deep of a line anywhere. So this is what you're going to have, okay? Now, where you can kind of feel where your cone ends, and then that we're going to just, can you see that? We're going to bend it over on itself, and you just kind of form it however you like as you go. Whatever you think is nice is totally fine. And then you're just going to attach it to itself. Okay? And then just kind of gently move your clay after that, the way that you want it to look. Oh my gosh, Jenny, it was when you were saying that, I couldn't help but chuckle, because that girl, we've been living in my house. My daughter is going to be 7, and we moved here when she was 2 months old, okay? And I still have boxes that I'm finding. It's crazy. Oh well. Okay, so you're just going to shape it. And then boom, look at that. We have a gnome hat. And then you just kind of shape this out wherever it might be a little bit shorter. Okay. And here we go. Boom, boom, pow. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our little girl here. And I have these skewers. I told y'all, I suggest getting these off Amazon, but you can get them from Dollar Tree. I would just maybe use an extra little piece or something, because they're not as thick as these ones are. And when you cut it, see, you cut it at an angle. And we are just going to go straight in to the top of that cone. Okay. So you're going to have that. Then we're going to go in with her hat. and try to be gentle, but your clay is going to move a little bit, but you know, that's okay. We can always smooth it out. Put your little tacky glue. Super glue will work if you have that. And we are just going to find the side of the front that you want to be her front, and we are going to put it a little bit, let's see if I can show you here, a little bit at an angle. So you're going to put it on kind of like that, okay? And in the middle. And just gently but quickly press it on there. Oh shoot. Hold on, I gotta put it. If you pre-do a hole, that will also help. Let me put another piece in here. I think that piece I did might have been too short. Okay. There we go. And we're gonna, I like to fold her little hat over her nose. And you can just form her hat however you want. Don't worry about that right there, because we're going to cover that up. You see? Looking like a gnome. What do you think? Thank you. Okay, so now this you might have to work with just a little bit because the clay is so soft. You can also put some skewers up here. I forgot to do that part, but that probably would help this stay in place a lot better. So the next thing we're going to do is I have these little, actually, I think I'm going to use this. I found this little pom-pom, okay? And this one, I put a star on, and it's just a little cookie cutter. You can get them at Walmart that I just did with blue clay and then painted it with a paint marker, just put stripes across it. I have this red one, but since the hat is red, I think I'm going to go in with this little pom-pom that I found, and I'm going to use super glue for that. So you just put a little bit of super glue and put it right where it looks like the end of the hat. Okay. And that's what we got so far. Thank you, Ramona. Thank you, Sugar Snob Designs. I'm so sorry I can't remember your name. What is your name, sweet friend? Okay, we might have to put something there because I think I just messed that up, but that's okay. So now the next thing we're going to do is the hands. So you're going to take more of your skin color, whatever color you picked. And you don't need much for this part. Just do your ball again. And then we're going to cut it in half. Roll it in a ball again. Thank you, Our Unique Touch. Can you, Shannon? Yes, ma'am. And Our Unique Touch. What was your name again? I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm terrible with names. And you guys can go to the Bright and Early Crafters page, and all these beautiful ladies that are on here with us, you can find them on there. You can find their pages through there. Pretty much all of us, Debbie shares on there at some point on different days when they go live, and you can always check and see what kind of new stuff they got. Okay, so we did the same thing we did with the bunny. You just put the ball, did a couple little snips about halfway in, and we got little handsies. This is leaning a little bit, so. So then now we're going to take our toothpick. Just cut them in half and make sure you cut at an angle. Lauren Marie, that's right. Okay, good. I apologize. So we're just going to put 2 in each hand, like that. Okay, and we're going to do that on the other side. So that's what we got. And then we're just going to take her hands and we're going to hold them, we're going to put them in like this, sideways. Okay. Take it to hands. Okay. So now that's what we're working with. So now the next step is the feet. So I got this, I cannot remember, I want to say Amazon, but it could have been Walmart. But it's like just this little kind of a weird tear shaped thing. I guess maybe if you put like beard shaped cookie cutter, but it came in a set, like in a whole bunch of different sizes, but I cannot remember. I'm pretty sure it was Amazon, but I've had these for a while. But you want to get that shape. I guess an oval shape would work too. You might have to shape it a little more, but that's okay. Yes, me too. I'm so glad Debbie started putting people's names on there. That's helped a lot, trying to get some of them I'm pretty sure I remember. But okay, so the feet, I almost didn't tell you this. You want this a little bit thick. So don't roll it too much at all. See? Pretty good bit there. And you're going to cut 2 of this shape. Okay? That's what we got. Yes. Yes, love or hey, sweet friend. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is what we got. And you're just going to flip one the other way, and we got the start of our feet. So we're going to leave this out. Now the next thing, what I like to do is how this goes in here. You're going to go the opposite with your finger and just kind of gently press in. See how it looks more like a foot? Okay, and you're going to do that with both feet. So it's like kind of like a S shape, I guess. So now this girl's leaning a little bit. I think I'm going to put her on this. Okay, that's better. Now, what you're going to do with her feet is we're going to get a couple more toothpicks. Oh, thank you. Yeah, my mom, she's redecorating her house with cows and like red and black. It's already looking so cute. And she got some of the cows. But we're going to put, do the same thing you did with the hands. Get you a couple toothpicks. And I always put the sharper side into that, your actual character, because this has less tendency to mess up what you've already fixed. Okay, and then you're going to take your feet and make sure they're facing the right way and just gently press them on to your toothpicks. Don't worry about that because we're going to cover that up. But see how we have the starter feet? So now what we're going to do to finish the feet is get you some more of that skin color. And you're going to make 2 bigger circles for the big toe. And then the rest of them, I do pretty much the same size, and it looks pretty good that way. We're going to do 2 about that size. Yes. It's the easiest way to just be kind. And down in the South, everybody's hun. Hey, hun. So you're just going to do 4 smaller circles for each foot. And then 2, 1 big circle for each big toe. And they don't have to be perfect. Just like if you have one that's a little bit smaller, you can maybe make that like the pinky toe or something. And it'll be just fine. Okay, so we got that. Okay, so I like to put a little bit of super glue right down here. And we're going to start with 1 foot. Let me get these on here and then I will show you. You just put it across the top. You put that big one right on the edge. And then you get your 4 and put them right next to it. And voila, we have a Tootsie. And then do that to the other side. Put the big toe on. There we go, guys. What do you think so far? And then you can just shape your feet a little more after that. And then that's it for the feet. So then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put a rim. That's why I said don't worry about that. If you, I pressed mine down and it went a little too far down. But that's okay because we're going to be doing this part. Get you a little, your 3rd color of whatever it is that your theme is. Just about like that. Oh, thank you, Ramona. Thank you, Debbie. And we're going to go in with the snake again. Just however big you want the rim to be. Okay, and then this is what we're going to do. We're just going to go, see where it's kind of yucky right there? We're just going to go around the brim. Okay. And just follow where you want it to go. And then snip it off in the back. Kind of smooth it out, but be gentle. And then I like to lightly press it because it'll flatten it out slightly. And that's what we got. Okay. So now the next thing that we're going to do is the wrinkles in the hat, I think. So now when you're doing the wrinkles, again, you can go in with a butter knife if you don't have these tools yet, or if you, but this is what I do. That I would use something like this, or like I said, the back of a butter knife, which would be similar to this. Thank you so much, Lauren. Thank you, Mom and Dad. And we're going to make it look like wrinkles. So just wherever you think, just gently press in. Can you see that? How it made a, just makes your hat look like it's one of them sleepy gnome kind of hats. And I just kind of round that out a little bit. And you just put one in wherever you feel. It'll be cute. Okay. So that's what we got. Can you see the wrinkles? Okay. So now to do the creases, in my opinion, you need them a little more defined, because it's that much of a bend. So I just do 3. I go straight in, and then I go at an angle, all at the same point. Can you see that? And that's how you get like your little creasing. So now we're done with that. Now I have these. These are little macaroons. This is a mold that I got from Amazon. It looks like this. Okay? So you just shove your clay in there, and then what I did was, after they come out and they're all dry, I went in with my fabric paint and just dab some little blue around for where the inner frosting part would be. Okay? And then just let it dry. We're going to make it look like she's holding some macaroons, since this one's holding a lollipop. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue where I know it's going to be touching her hands. Ooh, this just started raining. And you just set them in there however you want. Voila, she's holding macaronis. Okay. So now, the next step is to do the painting. We're gonna put some little clay polka dots on, but the little stars and the smaller dots that I did, that is, they're called paint pens, and the most popular ones that people know of are the pastas. But those can be a little expensive. If you get on Amazon, I found these that were very reasonably priced, and they have 2 different ends to them. And look at all them colors you get. But that's what I used to put the little stars and the small dots on there. But we are going to go in with some more light blue and put some little polka dots on here. And just get you a little bit. I like to use the color of whatever the dress or the outfit is. Thank you. And we're just going to roll some little circles and Put them on and then gently press. Okay. And the thing with polka dots is you want to try to put them a little off of each other. So let me show you what I mean here. Try to work in like a triangle pattern. So one here, one here, one here, and one here, one here, one here. Show you what I mean. See how I got like that little triangle design going on? Y'all, it is coming down out there. Okay, and we're just going to go all the way around the hat doing the same thing. You can put a lot on. You could put stripes on here. You don't even have to do the clay dot part. You could just put, do all with your paint pens if you wanted to. You could put glitter on it. All kinds of stuff. Okay, so let me get the back done here. See, I'm just going in that little triangles pattern here. Can you hear it? I know it's coming down out there. I got a small window right over there. Dadgummit, and I gotta go to the post office today. I don't know if I'll be going today. Okay, let's put one more and then I think that should be good. Maybe two more. Alrighty. Okay, and voila, we have us a little patriotic community. What do y'all think? I have these, hold on. I have these. I was thinking about putting on the boys and see, I got this started. These are already dried, but these were just some mold. Gosh, I found that years and years and years ago. I want to say at Hobby Lobby, but it's been so long I can't remember. But you just look up like a shooting star. They might have them on Amazon. Like I have a cookie cutter that's this big. See the difference though? But this is just a cookie cutter, and then I cut out more of these little stars with my other cookie cutter and just glued it on there after it was dry. Or you can stick it on there. So if you're wanting to do the lollipop, since we got a little bit of time left, I'm going to show you how to do the lollipop if you want to do that part. So I already got this here, and let me get out a little bit of red. Thank you. I'm so glad you guys are liking everything. I'm trying to think if I want to put candy in the boys' hands or not, or should I just put that star in there? What do y'all think? Okay, so we got our 3 colors of maybe about 1-inch ball each of our clay, okay? And what you're going to do is we're going to make 3 snakes. And it doesn't matter. It's just however long you want it to be to do the lollipop. Just make sure that your snake is as even as you can get it. That's really the only important part. Okay, so we got one. And we're going to do the other one. Okay, so that's our second color. And you're just going to butt it up to your first color. And then take your third color. And put it right on top in between your other two colors. So you're going to end up with something like this, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to roll this as one log, okay? So I like to do like this, okay? But you're just going to roll it in on itself. So it becomes, it's not chunky, it's like one snake at that point. And I believe Jenny just did something very similar to this. So if you want to get another tutorial on how to do that, you can go to her page or go to the Bright and Early Crafters page. Look how pretty that is. And you can do this with however many colors you want to, as big as you want to. So we have a break after me. And then at 11 a.m. Central Time is when we go with I'm Snow Crafty. And then Heavens to Betsy Cakery, Debbie's Bright Ideas, and then Misty's Creations, CPC Crafts, and That's So Cute by Dee will be our last one for the day for today's group. And if you can't find their page, just go to the Bright and Early Crafters page, and Miss Debbie, she posts everybody as they're going live, so you can catch, if you didn't see Ginger this morning, you can go back and watch her, or somebody that's fixing to come on, you can wait. So to do our lollipop, you're just going to take your end there, and we're going to curl it in on itself, and you're just going to make, just keep, can you see that? Just keep curling it in on itself. And like I said, you can clip this and make small ones, 2 small ones. You can make bigger logs and do a bigger one. This is a very easy design for new people that are wanting to get into fake baking. Lollipops that's a good first go-to. And it looks so cute in so many different projects. So you just kind of blend that in a little bit. And voila, y'all. We got us a little lollipop. I might put this on the boy with the girl. What do y'all think? Well, that's about all my time. We got a few minutes. If anybody has any questions for me, or if you watch the replay after we went live, I try to post this on my YouTube channel after, because I know I think Facebook deletes these after 30 days or something, but you can always go at any time and watch it on YouTube. There's a bunch of us that do that, so you can find quite a few of us over there. And so this is what we did today, and I will post later on today. I'm not sure yet, but I think I'm going to do some boys to go with these. And I hope that you guys have fun crafting with me. I hope you had a good time. Sorry about the rain. Hey, Wanda. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you, friend. This is what we did today, Miss Rhonda. Or Wanda, I apologize. We did us a patriotic. It was Stars and Stripes Are Oh So Bright. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here and give you all a couple minutes to get Get your coffee, get you some lunch on the break, and just remember at 11 a.m. I'll be meeting with all of you guys to go see Miss Beautiful Christine at Snow Crafties. She does all kinds of cool stuff. So you guys have a great day. Stay dry if it's raining where you are too. And have a lovely day. And just remember, Jesus loves you. Thanks, guys. Bye.